Hi, it's MJ. I was actually going to call it a night a little while ago, but I'm watching the protests in California, and I thought it would be good just to do a chat, just so people can see what's going on here. And it may surprise some people what the chart is showing. Now, what I have for the inner ring here is the United States chart. The middle ring is the California chart. And by the way, we don't have a time of birth for California. They didn't usually keep records that detailed. Sometimes you can figure it out, sometimes you can't. And the outside ring is the transits that are going on right now. And we're just going to look at the transits. I want to point out that starting off, let's take a look at Uranus. Remember, Uranus change. And up here we have Jupiter that it's making an angle to. It's a good angle. It's a trine, which means it's easy. What's Jupiter? Well, in this case, let's think of it as laws. So we're having people that are protesting trying to have another look at the laws, specifically the laws with ICE. And specifically what's happening is that they are taking people without warrants, and they are taking people, they're not identifying themselves. People aren't getting due process. So it is really similar to what happened in Germany, where people would just disappear and no one would know what happened to them. So this is a trine. Again, so change going towards the law. So they are trying to change it in a peaceful fashion. What do we have next? Well, Saturn is making an opposition to Jupiter. Saturn is restriction. Jupiter, in effect, is trying to come out. So this makes it explosive because it's hard to bound in Jupiter's sort of optimism, exuberance in some cases. But in this case, it's conflict. So we have restriction on people, in effect, trying to use their First Amendment rights of free speech. Now, maybe it would have been okay, and maybe we would have had some conflicts here, and it wouldn't have come to where it is. But what do we have? We have Jupiter over here, transiting Jupiter. And what's it doing? It's making a square to Jupiter. What is Jupiter? Expansion, gaseous, just inflates everything. And you're adding it to a Jupiter that's already inflating everything. This is how things get out of control. So remember how I said Jupiter, which everyone thinks is just a great planet. It doesn't, usually doesn't cause much harm. In this case, it is. What it's doing is it's becoming the piece that is going to inflame this by, in effect, making it bigger than it is. And that's what's actually going on in the news. They're showing all these cars burning, and there are a lot of photos from previous demonstrations also starting to appear on media. So I wanted to leave you off with this. So remember that this was a peaceful protest. Granted, we have restrictions coming in on that protest, but now we have it being flamed. By what? In effect, by just gaseous, by, exuberance, and by exaggeration. Okay? So I'll leave you with this and have a great evening. Bye now.